I'd like to just share a few things about this moon with you. What we're going to work with today, and I like to always preface whatever I say with this. I feel like with, working with moon energy or anything, any spiritual aspects, I'm sharing my perspective and I'm sharing things that I've learned in my travels and the different teachers that I've worked with, but, and also things that have come up with my intuition, but you might have a totally different experience than me, and that's okay. I just want you to know that as I share, take what resonates with you and just leave the rest. No worries there whatsoever. So what's coming up for me and the different things that I've read about this full moon happens tonight at 10:35 p.m. Eastern. And like I said, it's Libra, so it's about balance and it's about relationships. So on the side of balance, the idea of balance, right now I think that we're actually in my meditations this week, we've been talking a bit about balance. This is a time when the world might feel a bit unbalanced to us. And the idea is for us to work to bring it back together into balance, to balance the collective energy, but we do that by balancing our own energy first. We work within, and then that ripples out into the collective. So in order to try to find the collective balance that's called for in this full moon, think about balancing yourself. And I thought of 3 different kind of pairs of, kind of what you might look at as good and bad emotions, things that might be coming up right now. And you can take a look at the balance between them, and then you can take a look at how you're balancing these 2 things in your own life. So I wanted to take a look first off at the idea of love and fear. Where are you with love? Where are you with fear? Because fear and love are kind of balanced, and this is kind of the work of the heart. Where there is love, there is no fear. Where there is fear, there is no love. And so can you think about, or do you want to think about on this supermoon, possibly letting go of the fear and calling in love? And I'm just going to give a few examples, and if you have your own intention in mind of what you want to release, that's totally cool. You can hang on to that. But think about trading your fear for love, filling the heart with love. The second idea that I was playing around with was the idea of trust versus doubt. And trust, I would say, is probably more of a function of the root chakra. That's kind of more your grounding and, bringing yourself into balance with your security, your stability, your foundation. So trust versus doubt. When we're in doubt, we're not trusting. And when we trust, there is no doubt. So think about that one too, as a possible thing to work on as well. The third thing I wanted to throw out is the idea of calm versus anxiety. This is kind of associated, I would say, kind of with the mind. And so we're kind of bouncing from the heart to the root, to the head, or the third eye somewhat, but really kind of more the monkey mind that can fluctuate between calm and anxiety. So can you trade your anxiety for calm? Where there is calm, there's no anxiety. Where there's anxiety, there's no calm. So the idea is to look at what we're faced with in the world right now, and can we bring it into balance by coming into neutrality? If we can come into a place of neutrality, and I heard a quote the other day, react as if you have chosen it. React as if you have chosen it. Even though things that are going on right now are crazy, wild, unfamiliar, probably a little scary at times, if we can react as if we have chosen it, we can totally adopt a different perspective. We can take maybe a more neutral perspective and come into love over fear, trust over doubt, calm over anxiety, come into neutrality. Then we are in balance. So Libra, the scales, the balance, calls us to balance. So think about that with regard to our release today. And then I also wanted to touch on the idea of working with relationships. So the emotions that are coming up under this full moon, you might be feeling more on the balance side, stuff coming up that you want to balance. You might be feeling more on the relationship side. Maybe you've been emotional about that type of thing, and that's what you want to work on. Or finding balance in relationships. You can bring them together. So with relationships, what comes up around that, Libra is big into relationships, big into balance, big into fairness, into justice. When we think about our relationships, again, just like with balancing the collective, working on ourselves first, same thing with relationships. We work on ourselves first, and then we can be in relationship with others. So think about your relationship with yourself, and then start thinking about your relationships. This can either be relationships with family, with friends, with a romantic relationship, all different types of relationships. But I feel like at this time right now in the world, we're being definitely having an opportunity, which if we can look at it in this way, it's a rare gift when time and space is basically suspended, which is completely unusual from what we are used to. And obviously that's not the case for the essential workers, quote unquote, the frontline people, and let's please send them lots and lots of light if we are home and we are able to go into this and work with this right now, because we are not in our busy daily lives. We can send them some light. But if we are in this place of our lives, and perhaps you're spending more time with your romantic partner or with your family or with, not with friends probably, but well, you might be holed up. My friend Annette in Chicago is holed up with friends through the quarantine. So yeah, we might be having that. And I think we can take a good look at these relationships as we're kind of forced to do so because we're together more than we probably usually are. We usually probably distract ourselves. Is there an opportunity right now in relationships to have that deeper conversation with someone that you love? And can we take a look at a couple of things with regard to that? Can we look at our relationships from a perspective of compassion? Can we look at the other person from a perspective of acceptance? Can we look at them with appreciation or recognition? Maybe we sometimes take certain people for granted in our lives, and maybe we now, in these times that feel uncertain, can we open up and allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to express our unconditional love? And can we also come into a place of forgiveness? Because at the core of any relationship, you really need to come into forgiveness. Forgiveness of self, which makes us kind of happier and healthier as a person, able to be in relationship, but then forgiveness of others as well. So often we have little resentments that we hold on to. Sometimes we don't even realize we're holding on to them. They might be coming up a lot right now while you're quarantined together. All of a sudden you might be, the straw might break the camel's back one day. You might blow up at someone, apparently for no reason, from an old resentment. And if that's happening, think about, can you go into a place of forgiveness? Can you go into a place of deep acceptance for this person? And the idea of, in relationship, meeting this other person where they are, meet them where they are, and recognizing that the other person is you. And recognizing the people in your life who are mirrors. And the mirrors are the tough ones. You know, usually our family will mirror us. They know us better than anyone, and sometimes they're the habits or the things about the other person that become annoying or cause you to blow up. You know, take a look at that mirror and ask yourself, is this something that I'm really upset with in this person, or is this something that I'm really aggravated with in myself? You know, because sometimes that's what it is. And so look at that mirror, and what are these people here to teach us? Each and every one of our relationships, what are these people here to teach us? So that's kind of what I wanted to share about the Libra energy of this full moon tonight, and the idea of balance, neutrality, and on that one, you know, reacting as if you've chosen it, balance and neutrality, or on the relationship side, meeting others where they are and recognizing that the other is you, seeing that mirror. So think about that and close your eyes, if you will. Take a deep breath in. Inhaling deeply through the nose, all the way up the spine. Follow the breath from the base of the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, up the spine, up the neck, and out the crown of the head, reaching up toward the sky, lengthening the spine. Keep the palms down on the knees in a gesture of grounding. As you exhale, exhale through the mouth, let something go. But keep the length in the spine, keep reaching up through the crown of the head. With that breath, feel yourself grounded. Pause with the breath held out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, let something go. And feel yourself balanced. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth and release. Feel yourself centered. And just sit here with the eyes closed and rolled up in this comfortable seat. And I'm just going to give you just about a minute in silence to just call up anything within you that might have come up in our talk about balance, about relationships, or anything that you brought to the circle tonight that you would like to release. Go ahead and call that up, and don't overthink it. Don't think too hard. If nothing comes up, that's okay. It might come up later on, and you can still release it later on. You can still release it in the morning. You'll still be in this supermoon energy in the morning. It's happening overnight. But just see if you can call up something. Just something you want to release to this full moon. Something maybe you're hanging on to with regard to a relationship. Something that feels unbalanced that you want to let go of. Maybe something in yourself or in another you want to forgive and that you want to let go of, and just realize that when times are uncertain, we need each other more than ever, and if we're holding on to any resentments or any negativity with regard to other people and or ourselves, that's when the energy gets stuck. And when the energy gets stuck, that's when you're susceptible to dis-ease. It's uncomfortable, it's stuck, it's not moving, it stagnates, and dis-ease becomes disease. So we want to keep the energy moving. So keep breathing deeply, thinking about what you would like to release. You could have a long list of what you would like to release, Or you can, like I said, you can do it later, write it down, put it, burn it in the fire, but gather up what you would like to release